Hi there, I'm Dr. Noel Nelson, and it's my pleasure to share a few thoughts with you today, some uplifting, inspiring, and practical tips to help you find greater happiness and success in your life. Today's topic? The blame game. Blaming can be such a satisfying game, at least for a while. As in, it's not my fault I can't get a job. The economy's rotten. It's not my fault I can't have a relationship. All the good ones are taken. It's not my fault my presentation failed. I had a lousy budget for slides and graphics. Well, certainly on the moment it feels good to put the burden of our failure or our unhappiness on somebody else's shoulder. But it doesn't last. Griping never really makes anybody feel good in the sense of making you feel joyous and happy. It just temporarily numbs out the pain of failure. Then there's the other approach to blame, the "it's all my fault" approach, as in, I'm a terrible person, that's why I don't have a good relationship. I'm stupid and inept, that's why I lost my job. I'm clumsy and tongue-tied, that's why my presentation failed. Well, come on. This isn't much more satisfying than the "it's somebody else's fault" approach. Whining isn't a better road to joy than griping. Most importantly, neither blaming other nor blaming self actually solves the problem. Yet so many of us, faced with disappointment or failure, resort to blaming rather than getting off the blame game into the real heart of the matter, solving the problem. How convenient for you, you say, to take a high moral position. You're not the one stuck in a terrible relationship or an awful job or heaven knows what situation, which absolutely was not your fault. Okay, but where does it get you to focus all your energies on blaming, yourself or the other? You see, blaming stops the solution process. Instead, focus on accountability and responsibility. Accountability is your willingness to assess the part of the problem which belongs to you and the part that belongs to the other. Responsibility is your willingness and ability to respond to that part for which you are accountable. Which means, you ask? Which means that you always have a share in any situation you live. Now, this may sound like bad news, but actually, it's very good news. The more you are accountable for what's going on in your life, the more powerful you are. The more powerful you are, the more you can transform your life into the life you really want. However, be accountable does not mean blame yourself. Be accountable means figure out realistically what are the specific ways in which you have allowed or contributed to the situation. I'm a terrible person is a non-specific statement, which is unrealistic, and doesn't even begin to describe in any meaningful way how you have allowed or contributed to the matter. For example, in figuring out your accountability, you may indeed find that the economy is rotten. Well, that's the part the economy contributes to the accountability mix. But, realistically, what have you done, for example, to make yourself as hireable as possible, as in upgraded your skills, approached jobs creatively, be willing to work a wider range of jobs? That is your portion of accountability. Great! This is something you can take responsibility for. Or, another example, your good relationships may be less common than you'd like, which is what the nature of relationships contributes to the overall accountability for the situation. But what have you done to develop those qualities in yourself that a high relationship quality individual would be attracted to, for example? This is certainly part of your accountability, which then tells you what you can be responsible for. Or, your presentation was, awful? Then evaluate what you have done or not done to develop your presentation skills. Did you try Toastmasters? Take a speaking class? Practice in front of a mirror? In other words, figure out your accountability and follow up by taking responsibility. The more you are willing to quit blaming yourself and or others for the disappointments and failures in your life, the faster you are on the road to genuine success. Be accountable, be responsible, and watch your happiness soar. Thank you for listening to Up. And check out my new book, I Survived COVID-19, What Now? Finding Happiness and Success in a Post-COVID World. If you'd like more uplifting, inspiring, practical tips and techniques, as well as my website, noelnelson.com. Or take a look at my Meet the Amazings Facebook page. Until next time, be well and take care.